I now invite the Secretary General of Nagaland Olympic Association, Shri Abu Metha, to kindly say a few words.
Ladies and gentlemen, at the very outset, I give praise and glory to God Almighty for this wonderful occasion, for this opportunity of fellowship, and a platform to celebrate the energy, the ambition, and the success of the youth of Nagaland. I extend my special appreciation to the Honorable Chief Minister and the state government for all the support that we've received so far. This evening, we have a galaxy of personalities, ministers, members of the Legislative Assembly, policy makers, policy implementers, and representatives of various sections of society here this evening. It's an indication that Naga society, the present government, and the present political dispensation is extending all-out support to the youth of Nagaland, especially in the field of sports and games. Sport has always been a way of life for the human race. From the earliest times, sport was part of human culture. Walking, running, throwing, jumping, these were all part of human activity. In fact, sport reflects the human way of life. It represents how human beings have evolved since the earliest times. Likewise, here in Nagaland too, sport has been a way of life for all of us. Wrestling and different forms of traditional sport has been deep-rooted in our culture. My ancestors wrestled at every occasion, from the paddy fields, during festivals, to resolve disputes, to bring closer different villages and communities. We always wrestled. It was through sport that Naga people came closer to each other. The legacy of formal sport in Nagaland is also very rich. It was in 1948 that Dr. Tali Meranau led India's first ever football team to the Olympic Games, the London Olympics in 1948. One can imagine the sort of scenarios he would have faced. Till today, he remains an inspirator. He inspires all of us and will continue to inspire generations to come. It took 60 years for Nagaland to produce another Olympian. Arjuna Wardi, Chekrovolu Shuru represented India again in London in the 2012 Olympics in archery. As I said earlier, the Olympic movement reflects the human race and how we have evolved. An example of how human society evolved is the recent Tokyo Olympics, where events like rock climbing, 3x3 basketball, and skateboarding have become full-fledged medal events at the Olympic Games. Even in this instance, our athletes who represented Nagaland in the Northeast Olympics, they represent sport which goes back millennia. Releasing an arrow from a bow, throwing a rock across a distance, pinning your opponent to the dirt were part of sport in ancient Greece during the ancient Olympic Games. Today, those activities are called archery, shot put, and wrestling. Our athletes this time, Edikono Rika won gold medal in archery. Vikono won gold medal in wrestling. Venuzo won gold medal in shot put. These are events that reflect the sports from ancient Greece till today. In today's day and age, sport is no longer a recreation. In fact, the arenas of sports and games have become the modern day battlefields. The progress of a people, the development of a nation, and how much a country has marched ahead is reflected in its achievements and the performances at the international arenas of sports. Sports is today a multi-million-dollar industry, offering millions of jobs, lucrative jobs and careers inside and outside sporting arenas. It is projected that by 2026, the global sports industry will cross $700 billion. It is our aspiration and our ambition that youth of Nagaland are not only passengers in that global industry, the bus of the world sports industry, but drivers of those buses and those engines which propel ambitions and aspirations. We want youth of Nagaland to excel and be part of the global sports industry so that they can achieve success, they can have lucrative careers, they can contribute towards the growth of our economy, and most importantly, play a contributory role in the nation-building process of this great nation. Sport also unifies. The FIFA World Cup, the Olympic Games bring more nations together than even the General Assembly of the United Nations. India and Pakistan jointly hosted the Reliance Cricket World Cup in 1987. While the politics of the world divides, it is the glue of sport that brings nations and people together. Even this time, our flag bearers, nominated flag bearers, was Demo from Pek, Suchoi from Noklak, who held the Naga flag in the opening ceremony. And it was Bantong Pom from Longland who held the flag of Nagaland in the closing ceremony. Even as Naga society grapples with trying to come together and unify, the Nagaland contingent, Team Nagaland at the Northeast Olympics, did not understand the geography of East, West or Central. We were one Nagaland, one Naga, and we wanted to strive for the entire state. It is the ambition and the aspiration of the Nagaland Olympic Association to contribute not only towards the growth of sport, but to bring Naga society closer to each other. That is why our motto is stronger together. As we move ahead, it is also our aspiration to create new opportunities. If Nagaland is to rise as a sporting power, all Naga society must come together and work collectively towards creating of an ecosystem of sport that is dependent on science to progress. Society must unite so that we create opportunities in infrastructure, state-of-the-art infrastructure, policy changes to give opportunities to sportspersons in the form of scholarships, job reservations for sportspersons, and educational quotas in sports science subjects, creation of sports universities, sports science wings in colleges and universities, institution of leagues, recognition, awards. These all have to come together so that an ecosystem of sports is created, a sports culture rises, and then we will get into autopilot mode to churn out champions in the coming years. Today, with the guidance and the support of the Honorable Chief Minister, the Nagaland Olympic Association is happy to announce that we are perhaps the first institution in Nagaland and one of the first institutions, sports institutions in the country to get ISO 9002 certification. It took weeks and months of scrutiny, observation from this global organization headquartered in the UK for Nagaland Olympic Association to achieve this certification. I think this is an achievement not only for the Olympic Association, but for Naga society as a whole. and we hope that government institutions, NGOs will be challenged to strive towards similar certifications in the coming weeks, months, and years. Even as we celebrate the achievements of our athletes, we want to commit to Naga society that we will continue to do our best. I want to congratulate on behalf of the Nagaland Olympic Association and all my colleagues from the sports associations to each and every medalist, each and every winner who brought home glory, who did Naga people and Naga citizens proud. Congratulations, well done, and keep going for gold. We commit to each and every one of you, to all citizens of Nagaland, that the Nagaland Olympic Association will continue to strive to achieve the ambitions of the youth. Today's achievement, the credit goes to the athletes, the credit goes to the coaches, the credit goes to the support staff, the physiotherapists, the trainers. We are only doing our job. The credit is not ours. With a little bit of commitment and a hell lot of passion, we will continue to work hard under the Olympic motto of Citius, Altius, Fortius. The Olympic ambition to run faster, to jump higher, and to get stronger. And now, with the insertion of a new word in the Olympic motto, communiter, together. Thank you. Jai Hind, Kugnalim.